Hi, Zach.
What's up, Candace? How are you?
I'm marvelous. Don't call me Candace. Nobody knows it's my name. I'm just playing.
Sorry.
Uh,
I did my homework.
I see you did more research than I did. Damn. Hold on, I'm about to write another page of notes. Zak G. So wait. Before we get started, I remember last week when we spoke, you said you were from Syracuse, right? And then you moved to Jersey City to be closer to New York to pursue your dreams and all that.
Correct.
Which is dope. Do you feel like you've made more progress in Jersey since you moved closer? Or
Yeah, well, I mean, this was the whole reason to be in Jersey was to be out doing shows and stuff like that.
oh right, you did say that.
Yeah, so the reason to be here, was to be close to NYC, to network in NYC, to open mics, all that. I did it up in Syracuse a good amount, and I was, for maybe a year and a half while I worked for Iheart Media, and I was actually doing like radio work. I was a radio producer.
Yeah.
And of course, that's like, I my degree's in broadcasting, so I wanted to do that side of things, but more so, I think my dream was I want to be an artist.
That's
I don't want to do like this is like something I kind of like, but I want to do something like I really love.
You love, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So I left iHeartMedia. I was like, and as I was doing the iHeartMedia thing, I was also doing the artist thing up in Syracuse.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to go at this thing full force. I don't want to just do it half-assed. Like I got to do this for real. And if I'm going to do it for real, I got to be somewhere where there's a lot of artists doing things. And Syracuse, they have people on the come up. I'll be honest about it. But I wanted to grow somewhere else to say, hey, I did this in Syracuse. I made a little network there. Let me see how I can do it. Like, be like the fish in a big pond. Let me be the shark. Let me see what I can do.
Amen.
So
were you able to plug yourself? But like when you were at Iheart Radio, were you able to like play your music and kind of like get in the loop, or not so much?
Yeah. So I worked at like talk radio. And I was a producer for that.
Okay.
So we had, because iHeartMedia had like 5 radio stations under it in Syracuse, New York, and one of them was Contemporary Hit Radio, which is like pop, hip hop, whatever. No, not like, but we didn't have a full like urban type station that was really playing like hip hop, and they have a whole process, which is ridiculous. Like, they only take it from the labels. Like there were some label heads that came in that I was trying to get to meet, but it was, in the place that I was in, like, I was literally in a secluded room by myself producing radio. I wasn't out there networking.
You wasn't in the mix at all.
It wasn't for me, but it was a good experience. You made the right decision.
That's a stepping stone, but I think you definitely made the decision, a right one, coming closer to the city, because I feel like that's where any budding artist needs to be. Upstate is cool because there's a whole college wave, but it's nothing like being in the city. There's so much going on.
Agreed.
You said they didn't really have like an urban market. Do you consider your style urban or just straight hip hop? Because I feel like you're multi-verse. I wouldn't consider you a hip hop artist.
I follow in the vein of Kanye West. I like that he does the pop stuff. He does the hip hop stuff. I think like he's someone who has no labels, like Cudi, like Childish Gambino. Mac Miller, like I feel like my vibe is bringing the pop with the bars. Like I'm not just straight like this is New York, this is the Bronx. I'm not.
You're definitely not one note at all. All you can tell.
Yeah, I don't pretend to be that. I know who I am, but it's like I do want to bring the bars. You know what I mean? And the one you played is actually almost like, to me, it's like, dang, that's like really pop. Like that's probably the the most pop thing I've ever made, and maybe will make for a while now, because I want to get
love it though.
I appreciate it.
I love that, and it still does give me the bars. It still gives me that, the hip hop, but it has that pop undertone, which I think is just enough. So I love that track. I listened to all your tracks, but that one, it just stood out to me. Right. But I'm gonna bring it back real quick because you mentioned Kanye. And we know Ye's been in the press a lot about, his rants and all that. Are you still like rocking with him? If his album comes out, are you still going to listen to it? What's the tea?
Sure. So I'm going to show you this up here. Like there's Mac, there's Kanye, there's Childish. Those are like my 3. Like there's a couple others.
The Holy Trinity.
But you could call it that. I mean, there's a lot. I take from a lot of people. But man, it's hard for me because he's like, he's not right in the head right now.
Yeah.
And I think that he hasn't had the support system that he's needed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to still listen regardless, like always, Kanye. But I feel like, you know, in this industry, you know, there's a lot of pressure put on you. And when he lost his mother and 808s and Heartbreaks come out, you hear the turmoil in a lot of those songs that to the consumer, I love 808s and Heartbreaks, Heartless, all that. That changed my life, you know what I mean? But like, you got to think about the turmoil that this guy was going through, losing his mom, almost feeling like, because the reason his mom died was because of plastic surgery that he was funding.
Exactly.
So like, when you think about, you know, I'm not saying that is that was the reason he became bipolar. He was bipolar probably before that.
That's a factor.
It perpetuated the mental illness, I think. And I think that her being his biggest supporter really messed with him ever since then. Like ever since 808. Then you got Jesus, where he's saying he's a god. Then you got the Taylor Swift thing. You got Slavery is a Choice, where he's just everything he's coming out of this guy's mouth is wrong.
Yeah.
And do you blame him or do you blame the society and like losing his mom, not having the right support system? It's really hard for me to be like, screw Kanye, because like, you know, I rock with him. The dude like revolutionized hip hop. He sure did. Yeah.
I personally feel like it is a mental health issue. And I feel like he has problems expressing himself because he's so passionate. It comes out absolutely the wrong way almost every time. But I personally, I'm kind of with you. I love Ye. He's one of my inspirations. So hopefully he gets the help and support he needs. I'm still going to listen to the album because he's the creative genius. And I know it's going to be heat. So let's pray for Kanye. But let's bring this back to you. So you said, of course. So you said, they're your inspirations, the Holy Trinity behind you. What about production? I know you produce a lot of your music. Do you produce 100%, like everything, or?
Yeah. Well, I will say this, and also just want to put this in here. The roots of me, like these are like the influences now. The roots of Zak G are Eminem and Ludacris. Like the zany, crazy delivery. You know, like I'll never forget Ludacris coming with those big arms and the Get Back.
I know.
Music.
Yes.
Like, I'm a crazy dude. I like the crazy stuff. But anyways, I just wanted to put that in there. You said, do I produce? I actually, the last song You Feel It, I just released.
Okay.
That one was the first one I produced, engineered. Everything was by myself. The stuff before that was actually YouTube instrumentals. So the reason that you'll see as I'm releasing, like I released a lot in 2018, 2019 had 2 songs, and then 2020 only had 1. It's because I've kind of taken a back seat to the actual like lyricism and trying to learn more on the production side. Because when you have a Ye or a Mac Miller or like these people do it all, and I want to learn how to do that other stuff. I got the keyboard right behind me. I'm really trying to get versed in it and network with other producers, collab with them, pick their brain, because you know I love this. Like this is my everything, you know. So
I can tell that that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you, because I feel like you're very passionate about what you do. And then just to touch on the Luda thing, that makes sense because I listen to a lot of your records and I feel like you're animated, but not in a bad way, but you're animated on the track. Like none of your songs I was bored or like I had to like pan through to like let me hear the beat drop or none of that. I feel like you bring the right amount of energy on every track that you do. So I think that's dope. I checked out your freestyles. I love what you did to Arctic Monkeys. That was, I love when an artist could spit over anything. Like you're not put in a box. Do you have a lot of rock influences?
So yeah, it was a great question. So I literally before I got into Ludacris and Eminem, and I had this one friend that kind of like got all the explicit versions, and you know, like my parents wouldn't let me listen to that, you know. But you know, it's funny how like my buddy get a hold of his CD, and then like we'd be playing the Eminem show and stuff like that. But before that, I was listening. Linkin Park was my biggest thing. And it makes sense because they were that band that was the, you know, Mike Shinoda was the rapper, and then you got Chester Bennington was the singer. And you know, it's the fusion, and then Numb Encore with Jay-Z, and you know, that kind of, I think that rock hybrid that I started on was the thing that kind of bridged the gap to hip hop, and that's where.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, you know, my heritage, you know, I'm third generation Middle Eastern, Lebanese, and I felt like, for me, growing up I grew up in very rural America. I was kind of an outlier in a sense. I felt, you know, I didn't feel like I totally belonged. I was kind of an outcast, and I feel like hip hop was that different thing that I was into, and like a couple of my buddies were into. That was like,
yeah,
you know, and obviously hip hop exploded, became pop music and all that, but
it's everything. Everybody pulls from hip hop.
Exactly. But
dope. I think those influences definitely have made you, like I said, very versed as an artist. Nothing is one note, so I think it's dope you incorporated that into what you do. Let's talk a little bit about the message you want people to take from the music that you make. Or is there an emotion you want people to feel from the music that you make?
I think the biggest thing is, you know, I walked away from a career that, you know, I probably could have been stable in, but I wasn't fully happy in. And I want people to take away that, you know, you can do anything. Like, if you believe in yourself and like, just go after. I want people to be, I want to inspire like the next generation. And I might not be like the most like politically, like, I might not be speaking politically. I hope I can influence, you know, just good things to happen, you know, and maybe I won't be the one who's making, you know, the great like social change that needs to happen, but I can be the person to spark the brain for that. And Tupac talks a lot about that, about like, I want to be the one to spark the brain to change the world. I feel like that's also kind of my place in it.
Yeah. Well, it's a dope place to be sitting in, for sure, for sure. And you've made all the necessary moves, I think, to do that, especially with like just taking a hold of your craft and like getting stronger at it and investing more time into it. A lot of artists are scared to walk away from their profession. They try to do both. And what I learned is you can't. If you're going to be an artist and you're going to be full force into it, you have to make those sacrifices and you have to make those investments, and they come back. And you're one of those people. I think they're definitely going to come back for you. They already have, you know, but it's going to continue to grow. So well done on that for sure. Can you tell me your ultimate collab? If you could collab with anybody, dead or alive, one, not all three, who would it be?
Childish.
Really?
I would say Childish because of how he can do anything. He's like the Renaissance man. I feel like his mind to be like, you know, he does Atlanta. He makes music. He grew up, you know, humble beginnings off like, you know, well, he worked hard on YouTube and like built up like through the internet, you know. So I don't know. I feel like, you know, I relate to him. I feel on the deepest level. I feel like we could come out with something crazy, and also like he has no bounds. Like, he'll put out a neo soul album. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just be bound to a genre. I want to do like crazy things, and I feel like Childish would be the one to bring out things in me that I thought I never know that I had. I guess I'd say.
Yeah. Childish is super dope. He's an entertainer. He can do everything.
Exactly.
So that would be a pretty dope collab. I do have to wrap things up here, but is there anything you want to say to the people? Any freestyle you want to give us?
No, I would like to. Yeah, I'd like to say something. I know we only got 6 people in here, but that's amazing. So these 6 people, I just want to say thank you for watching. 7 now. And if you're an artist, if you're a producer, whatever, DM me. Like, let's network, let's work. Let me know about shows in the city, because when I come out of COVID, like, I want to be out in the streets, meeting people, shaking hands, going in. And if you're, just a fan of Zak G or whatever, and you just want to consume my music, go to my Instagram. I mean, it's up on top. So that's it. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Dope. See, a humble artist. We love to see it.
Thank you
And
so much.
we'll keep you posted too. We're waiting for things to open back up. We were gonna put some shows together. So we'll definitely keep you posted as well. And vice versa. We want to, stay in touch with everything you're working on. We think you're
Right.
dope. So let's keep in touch. I'm gonna post this later, obviously, so people will be able to follow you. But some love for Zak G. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a good one.
You too.
Thanks.